Hello, and welcome to the Totally Schway podcast, a podcast about the DCAU and whatever the hell else I want it to be about. My name is Mary.
And my name is Luke.
How are you today, Luke?
What the listeners don't know is this is our fifth attempt at recording the podcast because we kept getting interrupted
Like Gilgamesh.
and the postman and just other random things happening, usually within 30 seconds of starting recording. So I think we're doing okay now. We've hit 35 seconds on the record. Nothing's interrupted. We've shut the door. We've sealed ourselves away. We've put the sign up outside saying, "No one's home, go away."
I think that's always up, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Except for unless you're delivering packages, and then you're all right.
Yeah. Amazon will open the door for you, but no one else.
If they can open the door.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, so how was last week for you? Or the week before last?
Are you referring to the episode, the last episode? Well, we had an amazing discussion about the near apocalypse of '09, and I'm hoping when we get to the comments that everyone is... their lives are enriched by the conversation we had. Yeah,
I mean, I'm still flabbergasted, gobsmacked, and delusional about it all. So, do you have any news today?
Do you know, I don't think I do. I mean, I suppose there is some news that Todd McFarlane has announced more Batman the Animated Series action figures.
I see that emoji of the money with the wings, I think.
Yeah, where the money flies away, yes. So I think we all already knew that he was finally releasing the Joker-mobile, which is the figure that DC Collectibles announced and then cancelled. No idea why. I'm sure I could find out if I asked around. But Todd's doing it, and it's going to be a Target exclusive. Funnily enough, it's being released while I'm going to be in California next month. So... I might camp out at the Target to see if they've got one. Every day I'll be like, "Have you got the Joker-mobile?" And they're like, "What? Where's the Joker-mobile? Please, Target employees, give me a Joker-mobile."
Can the Joker come out and play?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I know this is a DCAU podcast, all right?
Oh, are you going to talk about something I think you're going to talk about? Go on.
Okay, there's no spoilers right now. But oh my God, this last... episode of X-Men 97 it got me in my feels.
Yeah, I've watched it twice now.
I know. I wanted to watch it again with you because you said while we were watching it, Gilgamesh kept interrupting you and Thor.
Yeah,
I was going to watch it with you again, but
I'm going to watch it a third time. I don't mind.
But it was so good. It felt genuinely, this is the first time in the 3 episodes that they've done where I felt like I'm actually in like 1996 or 1997 watching this show.
As the title suggests.
No, I mean, but you know, like watching the old series, and it was so good. It was really good. Y'all, if y'all aren't watching that, the whole thing's been really good, but this episode made me feel things. First off, I did not want to feel those things. Number two, some of the things I did want to feel. I will say one spoiler.
No.
We do get to see Nightcrawler again, and that's so great.
I don't think that's a spoiler because that was in...
Okay.
Like, when I opened YouTube the day before, Marvel had uploaded a video showing Gambit and Nightcrawler going, "Here's a preview for the next episode of X-Men."
Oh, like, cool. Yeah. Okay, but this is a DCAU podcast.
Yeah, let me finish my news about Todd McFarlane and his toys and his quest to pillage my bank account. There's another wave of Batman the Animated Series figures consisting of the duplicate Batman with the burnt off half face. You can see his robotic skull underneath.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy, the Phantasm, and Bane. And if you buy all 4 of them, each figure comes with a piece that, when assembled, forms Bruce Wayne in his brown suit.
Do you know, I actually like stuff like that. I know it's like something companies do so that they can get all of the profit they can. Mm-hmm. But it really does remind me of stuff I saw when I was a kid, of like, collect all 5,000 and you'll get this card, or you'll get all the pieces to this $2 puzzle. It's very reminiscent of that.
Yeah, and it's a good way of ensuring that fans can get figures that probably wouldn't be able to be released to stores because no one would want to buy them. I remember DC Collectibles, I've forgotten the name, I think his name's Jim Fisher, but I'm not certain. Whoever the head of DC Collectibles was at the time would always use the Condiment King as an example of a figure that he would never release because no one was interested in him. And I remember going, Balderdash! I was going to say something else then. But Balderdash, I'm interested in this. I would buy a Leslie Tompkins action figure if you released it. A Leslie Tompkins and a Matt Thorne 2-pack. Do it, you cowards! But anyway. So yeah, I think that's the DCAU related news over and done with. It's more of Todd's toys. I've still not received my lockup Build-A-Figure wave yet. Apparently it's been for Europe it's been delayed until May, which is lame.
Can I ask a question? Well, I'm going to ask it anyway. Does it come with comments that you have to read that would give you a headache? Like your video on lockup.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Actually, fascism is a left-wing movement because it has socialist in the title. Oh, shut up.
So let's get on to the topic of today's episode, which I don't know about because I've asked Luke to surprise me. Because usually we take turns in doing the topics or whatever, or I just blurt out what I want it to be and make Luke talk about it. I totally have to twist his arm to talk about it. But today he's going to surprise me with something.
Yes. So we're going to talk... I've left a little hint as to what the topic was from my earlier news story, and we're going to talk about...
Is it lockup?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not. No, we're going to talk about the action figures of the DCAU.
Oh,
so I'm not just limiting it to the recent ones, the DC Collectibles ones, the Todd McFarlane ones. Can be the old Mattel or Kenner figures.
McDonald's.
The McDonald's Happy Meal figures, yes, if that was your introduction to them. Do you want to start there?
Well, yeah. I can't... Do you remember what year the McDonald's ones came out? It's a great topic, by the way.
Would have been 92 or 93, something. Probably 93.
Yeah, because I remember seeing them. I am sure my brother had some. Because they would do like... forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they would do something like Batman for the boys and Barbies for the gals. And I was obsessed with Barbie. Well, and Batman, but I liked Barbie. But I think my brother had them. But we didn't actually have takeaway like that very often. Because it just wasn't... I don't know. Unless they had things like that. Like, we knew what, like, there was a toy in the Happy Meal we wanted. We didn't really have, like, that kind of takeaway. But yeah, which ones did you guys have over here?
We had the same ones as the US. So it was Batman, Robin, Joker, Two-Face, and Catwoman, and possibly a Penguin, but I might be mixing it up with the Batman Returns. I
can remember Catwoman, Batman, and Robin. I'm just going to pop it up on my phone now.
Okay.
BTS, McDonald's. How do you say McDonald's?
McDonald's, the way it's said, McDonald.
I say McDonald's.
McDonald.
But we're over here, a lot of people say McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, Mc is...
Because they say Macca's.
Yeah, but it's Mc. Mac is different to Mc.
Totally know that.
Just type in Happy Meal.
Kids Meal.
Happy Meal.
Oh yeah, Happy Meal.
I saw a set of them on eBay for not very much money.
Were they these ones?
No.
No, because I didn't...
Oh, hang on a minute.
No, I think they might have been.
That's a different... Oh, no, that is the one. The one. Yeah, so you've got... Oh, it's Poison Ivy. Collect all 8.
Yeah, it was
Scroll through it.
Two-Face instead of... I would love this, by the way.
How much is that?
It is...
Not very much.
Yeah, but look at shipping.
I bet there's a UK one, though.
Yeah, but...
I remember the Two-Face on the little bike, the little wind-up toy.
Yeah, I remember... I think we had the Riddler, Batman, and maybe Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've really liked Catwoman. But like I said, we didn't have like McDonald's toys very often unless like it was, my grandma loved the Beanie Babies.
Mm-hmm.
And then we loved the Batman toys,
Mm-hmm.
which was awesome. But I think there was another wave of them, wasn't there?
I'm only aware of that one wave. Doesn't mean that there isn't more, but that looks like the same thing.
Yeah.
All 8 figures plus 4 boxes. How much
Yeah,
for that
the
one?
boxes were so cool.
Oh, that's not bad actually.
No, the boxes. Oh, I know we're talking about McDonald's a lot, but
Well, for some kids,
Yeah.
that was their introduction to figures.
Yeah.
That's how they got toys.
yeah, and back then they were great toys. Like they were actually mini action figures rather than that hollow plastic that they started doing in like the early 2000s. It wasn't like that. It was like real mini action figures. And I believe the cars, because Poison Ivy, Two-Face, and who was the other car? Robin,
yeah.
I believe their cars, when you put them back,
Yeah.
they went forward.
That's what I meant by wind
Yeah.
up, but they're not really wind up. It's like
It is a wind up
Oh, is
car.
it?
Yeah. Because you are winding it up that way. So you're pushing it backwards so it'll go forwards. And you hear that, I don't know why, but I really like that clicking sound that
that friction.
that it makes. But yeah, I remember those. But I would always get really, I think I'm like this anyway, because I like my scrapbooking thing, and I like special edition packaging. Like when Matt came out with the Wonder Woman collection, I still have that packaging. But the boxes were just so cool because they would have like a little, like, obviously they'd have the Batman graphics, but they'd also have like little puzzles and like little, it was kind of like a little story on the box. But I believe it wasn't every character had a different box. Were there only 4?
I think that there were just a handful of boxes.
Yeah, because on here we're looking at an eBay listing for them, but in my head I thought there were like 6 or something, but
Maybe there were.
I don't think there were. I think there was only 4.
That dude wants 50 quid for those. I'm actually considering getting it when I get paid.
Yeah.
I think that would be...
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
It's not just Todd McFarlane ravaging my bank account. It is eBay.
Yeah, but see, stuff like that, because we had already watched the show, and we wouldn't have, well, in my opinion, I wouldn't have gone to McDonald's just for the Happy Meal, just to have the Happy Meal, unless there was something in it that I wanted, because we were breakfast people, okay? We went and got the breakfast, the sausage biscuit, but not like lunch or dinner. What is the first introduction, what is the first action figure you had from the BTS show?
Let me think. So when those toys came out, we didn't get them. I can't remember why. I always remember wanting them and being in the shops and like pointing them out to my dad, saying, my birthday's coming up, Christmas is coming up, maybe get me some of those. And they did get me some of the Batman ones, but it wasn't like the I will refer to them as like the plain figures, where it's just the villain or Batman in his regular costume.
Oh yeah,
the combat belt Batman costume. Figure, excuse me. That was the one I wanted. I got Lightning Strike Batman, which was also a cool one. He had a black costume with like white lightning bolts on it and a hard plastic cape that formed a shell around his body, so it looked like he was just standing there in a black silhouette.
Yeah.
I liked that one. I think I got Parachute Batman as well.
Oh, Parachute Batman.
Yeah, with an orange jumpsuit and a little parachute on. You could chuck him up in the air and he wouldn't float down. He'd just fall slightly less fast.
I don't know why, but I remember seeing... Sorry to interrupt you. I think it was a Kmart or a Ventures ad. It might have been a Ventures ad. None of you probably know what that is if you don't live in Oklahoma. Ventures was what we had before we had Kmart. I remember seeing a weekly from, the paper weeklies that we used to get of the Parachute Batman. And that's like, as soon as you said that, I was like, yeah, the little kid was dropping him.
The main thing I remember about that, I think it was from Kenner, was the name of the company that made them. The main thing I remember from that line is they had loads of Batman figures, loads of Robins, but the villains were always really hard to find. And I have a very vivid memory of being in Woolworths in Canterbury. Would have been around sort of 94, maybe 95 at a push. And seeing the Bane figure and pointing at it to my dad saying, I want that one. We never see the villains. Can we get it? And he said, maybe next time. Came back, it was gone.
Oh no, that happens to me so much.
But don't worry, my dad made up for it a couple of years later when they did a limited edition box set called the Rogues Gallery that had 8 figures in it that were repainted versions of all of the villains. So it had the Joker, Catwoman, Man-Bat, Scarecrow, Phantasm, Poison Ivy, Killer Croc, Clayface, and one more that I can't think of off the top of my head. No, I've said 8, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's all. That was it. That was all 8. Similar situation. We saw it in the comic shop. Whatever Comics, long gone now, unfortunately. And I said to my dad, I would like that for Christmas or my birthday, I think. Might have been one of the two. Whatever the event was. And my dad went in there a couple of days later and he said they only had one and someone bought it. And I went, oh, great. Then at the event, lo and behold, the person that bought it was my dad. And I was like, you said someone bought it. He said, somebody did buy it. Where?
I love your dad.
Yeah, it was a good joke. Good joke. I've still got that Rogues Gallery figure. Actually, it's up in my parents' loft. I've just revealed where all my treasures are hidden. So if anyone wanted to steal all my BTAS stuff, that's where half of it is.
Yeah. I remember a lot from the 90s figures, but there were so many of them that didn't really, there would be a Batman that came out and then you would just think, I don't remember seeing that.
Yes, this is awful. Yeah. There was a Ninja Star Batman. It wasn't a bad figure, but it's why has he got this massive bolt-on thing on his wrist that fires red ninja stars? Batman never did that. Why is there a scuba diving Batman? There was never a scuba diving Batman in the show. And just to tell another funny personal story, my grandparents would go and visit family members in the States every summer when I was young. And they would always say to me, write a list of any toys you want and we'll see if we can find them out there. So I wrote a list of all of the BTAS figures that I didn't have. And I was like, if you find any of these, or even just one of these, grab them for me. They tried their best, but they came back with Batman Forever figures. And I was so bitterly disappointed, but I didn't want to seem ungrateful. So I was like, thank you, Grandma, for this awful Batman, this Chris O'Donnell action figure. Joy.
That was so sweet, though.
Yeah, they tried. They really did try.
Your grandparents were very sweet.
They really did try. It was very funny.
They were really, great stand-up people that would bend over backwards for you.
Yeah, I just...
You're like, but they gave me Batman Forever.
Yeah, I know. To be honest, I'd have rather they came back with nothing if they couldn't find them.
Do you still have them, though?
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. That's where I had that plastic Two-Face coin from. It's from a Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face figure. That coin just vanished one day, but I could always just buy another one on eBay. It's not massively expensive.
I know this sounds a bit odd, but some of my favorite figures were from the DC Collectibles.
That's not weird at all.
Yeah,
they were intended to be more authentic.
Yeah, because they did give me that, and I've said this a few times already in this pod, but they did remind me of 90s action figures. So I'm going to be a bit, I don't know if this is a controversial statement or not, but kids' toys these days suck compared to the 90s ones. Because you'll look at something, what were we looking at that had the shifted face. Like the mold of the face was correct, but the eyes were like not painted.
The pupils were pointing in the wrong direction. It looked cross-eyed.
Well, not just that. It's just the eyes weren't even in the sockets.
Oh, weren't they?
Yeah. And loads of toys are like that nowadays. It just, to me, I don't think there's as much effort into action figures as there used to be.
Wow.
Except for when you get to DC Collectibles and Tom McFarlane. And some of the stuff you get at, there's a place called Forbidden Planet over here. I think it's
in the States as well.
Yeah, it's in the States too. They've got great stuff because I think they must handpick those things to go into their shop because most of the stuff is nice. Some of it, not my style, and really they're, money is money. But a lot of it that you see in the actual shop and it's up for sale and stuff, it's just remarkable. But those are statues and stuff. I'm talking about action figures. None of this, I'm going to print it on the face type thing. I'm talking about things that were like, properly printed on.
Well, yeah. I mean, the adult collectible market is slightly different. They can afford to take a little more time with it and therefore charge a higher price for them. And I just want to circle back, for a brief moment, to the Kenner figures. And I remember always thinking that they looked just like the characters from the show. And I'm talking about not just the Batman figures, but the Superman ones as well. Upon closer inspection, I always remember the Man-Bat figure as looking exactly like Man-Bat. But if you look at it now, it looks nothing like Man-Bat.
So when did those come out?
The original Man-Bat would have been 92.
Yeah, the original action figure one.
Yeah. But the DC Collectibles one, now that one,
yes.
Compare the two of them, and it's like night and day.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're so beautiful. It looks like you're looking at the character from the cartoon. Yeah. But obviously in 3D. Yeah. And it's just every attention to detail. It sounded like I just yelled there. I just got excited. For example, the different hands you can have and the different heads you can pop off and all of that. None of those that I have seen myself, and Luke has actually all of them that we can get here in the UK. None of them have that shifty eye look where the eyeballs on the nose or something like that.
You say that, but I know someone through Instagram who got his hands on the new Batman Adventures figures by Todd McFarlane, and the Two-Face he got was apparently really badly painted. Like, I don't know if that was just his model, but it's like the eyes were just messed up. The sculpt was correct, but the paint job was terrible.
Oh no, Tom McFarlane.
Todd.
Sorry, I keep saying Tom.
Toddothy.
Where did I get Tom from?
I don't know.
I think that's the second time I've said that. So, Todd McFarlane. I'm not cutting that out either. And the thing is, I'm such a fan of his as well, because, Spawn and, all of that. So I don't know why I was calling him Tom. You know what? That's my nickname for him. But Todd McFarlane, please give that person a new Two-Face.
Yeah, I think the guy said that he was sending it back, actually, because he was so dissatisfied with it. He was going to get another one because he wanted the Build-A-Figure piece for... No, there wasn't a Build-A-Figure in that.
Not in that one. Not in the Two-Face
Maybe
one.
it was the animation cell. He wanted the reproduction animation cell. I forget. But I might be mixing up two different people there now that I think about it. But the point was that the modern figures aren't free of faults either.
Oh, well, of course not. But what I'm saying on a bigger scale, from what I've seen myself, there haven't been as many mistakes as there was in like the newer toys that you see, like especially McDonald's toys. They're not like they used to be. Yeah,
and I don't want to give the impression that the old toys were bad, because the Batman ones were very authentic apart from the multiple different costumes.
Oh no, I'm saying the ones from like the early 2000s.
I know what you're saying. But you remember I said that they weren't always particularly authentic. But I say recently, probably about 4 months ago now, I'm just looking up at them now. I bought some vintage Superman the Animated Series figures of the villains. And actually, those ones are very good. The Lex Luthor's a bit shoddy because he comes with like this golden head piece that's supposed to be like body armor, but it just looks a bit weird. But the Brainiac was really good. The Bizarro is excellent. The Darkseid is really good as well. They've all got like silly accessories, although actually Brainiac's accessory is that chair he was floating around in New Kids in Town from Superman. Mm-hmm. So that one is at least accurate. Darkseid has got some Omega Beam blaster that he like straps onto his chest, which that was never in the show.
Yeah. I was like, I don't remember that.
But I guess you can't really just have a kid's action figure of menacing dude stands there with his arms folded behind his back, smirking. Even though it would be very accurate.
Okay, I have a question.
Shoot.
What's your opinion on Funko Pop?
I'm not going to disparage anyone that likes Funko Pops, but I don't particularly care for them. I bought the BTAS ones. Mm-hmm. I didn't buy the Mr. Freeze one, that limited one, because it was very expensive and I didn't think it was worth the money. They also have a Two-Face one, which can only be bought through them. But again, I didn't think it was worth the price they were charging. And you know how much I love Two-Face. People, they're almost like the 2010s Beanie Babies, because people were convinced they'd be worth a load of money. Mm-hmm. So they bought up loads of them, and then they kind of realised quite quickly that actually most of them are pretty worthless. And my understanding is the bubble has burst on those.
Most of the stuff I collect is worthless.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, anything that is collectible is only worth what someone is willing to pay. And most people probably aren't willing to pay some of the inflated prices that you see for these things.
Yeah, I had 3 of them. Because I had an Aquaman one that was bronze.
Yeah.
Well, like, not real bronze, but...
Yeah, it looked bronze. You had a Wonder Woman.
A Wonder Woman.
Got a Harley.
Yeah, and I think those were the 3 that I had. And I don't have... Well, I must have them still, but I don't have them about anymore. And we have the keychains.
I was going to say, you've got the Don't Starve.
Oh, yeah,
Funko
yes.
Pops.
I love those.
So those ones are... Because Don't Starve is very stylized. It kind of suits the Funko aesthetic a bit more.
I really like those. I haven't taken those out of the box yet because I want to, when we move, obviously I'm going to have an office. I want to kind of like theme it around, you know, like
your interests. Yeah,
like Don't Starve, Stardew Valley, stuff like that. And I don't want... I have so many things that are just loose and about in my wardrobe that I'm just like, ugh, just leave them in the box. I don't like Funko Pops as much as I once did, because I think it became really oversaturated, and sometimes I think there was one thing, and I can't even remember what it was. It might have been a Beetlejuice or whatever, because I have the Funko Beetlejuice bag from Loungefly, but it might have been a Beetlejuice or an Edward Scissorhands. I can't remember which one, and I couldn't get it unless it was like 70 quid. And that's how much? Like $85?
No, it's more than that. It's about 100.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, but this is on sale in the States for like, I think it was like $12.99.
Yeah. And
then over here in the UK, it was so expensive because people had bought it from the website and la-di-da-di-da. And it just kind of, it ruined it for me. And I think that's one of the reasons I don't collect a lot of things. I collect nail polish. It's an interesting fact about me. I love nail polish. And yeah. But what I would like, and I have been doing recently, although it's not big things, I've been going through the memories from my childhood of things that I wanted really bad as a kid, and I've been buying them. And I think we're going to end up doing one of those things soon, because I just looked at the eBay thing for the McDonald's. They had the whole set, including the boxes. of the BTAS 93 McDonald's toys. So I think I'm going to do that. But with the Funko Pops, I think that kind of put a sour taste in my mouth or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose so. But the thing is, collectibles is such a broad term that, yeah, of course, there's like cheap tat that no one's interested in. But then there's like high-end premium products like the Mondo action figures. Now, those I love them so much. They sometimes they're a little bit off model. Like the first Batman they put out, his head was just slightly wrong. But then you end up with something like the Man-Bat or the Phantasm that are just completely perfect, that they look like they've stepped straight out of the show. Now, these are like the high-end, expensive products. And thank God they rarely release more than like 2 or 3 of them per year, because otherwise I'd be living on the streets in a house made out of the cardboard boxes that those Mondo figures come in.
I think I've made that joke to you before.
Yeah.
No, I love the Mondo ones as well. And it's, again, the attention to detail is spectacular. But it's... So the difference between something like Mondo and Funko is what they put out.
They're owned by the same company, though.
Yeah, but they make different things.
Yes, they do. Different markets.
There's nothing wrong with liking Funko Pops. I mean, I still like them, I guess, in terms of like some of the characters you can get. It's just I'm still a little bit bitter because that one was, at the time, was so expensive for me. I mean, it still kind of is expensive for a Funko Pop.
For what it is.
Yeah, that you can buy in another country, quite easily. Now, if you couldn't buy in any of the countries easily, that would make sense. But yeah, I love the Funko Pop BTAS keychains we have.
Yeah.
We had, I did an unboxing on my YouTube channel, and I thought it was just random, but actually there was 2 of each of them, and it clearly stated that on the box. But I was like, oh, I hope I get this one. I was like, oh my God, I got this. I got 2 of these. Yeah, it's not on the box.
Yeah, it's random to the people buying them, unless you buy the whole set in one box, yeah.
But with that, I think that was £70. And you got so many of them in there.
16 or something like that.
Yeah, and it was such a good... Like, if you're buying that for like a load of people, I'm just gonna mention this, especially when it's like comic book related or whatever. You can actually buy the big boxes that the stores do, and sometimes if you want the whole collection, do that rather than buying them individually.
Yeah, because
it's like the wholesale market is quite nice, and they're quite easily available. Mm-hmm. So yeah, sorry, that's just my, not Spawn. Well, I wish they would do Spawn ones. I would actually buy those. But I wish they would do Superman ones. Because I would love, could you imagine having a little Brainiac?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like a little Metallo so I can go, why can't I feel anything?
Oh,
I'd make him kiss you. He'd go,
I
don't feel anything, Mary.
Oh, Gilly would love that. He'd be like, Gilly, kiss us.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I've been watching Superman a bit recently.
Oh, and also if like they had Justice League ones and stuff like that, I would love that. But it's never going to be as good as the Todd McFarlane DC collectible Mondo ones, in my opinion, because I just really like those, and I don't know, it's just really great. So the Harley, if we're talking about action figures, can I talk about my statue?
Yes, of course you can.
So Luke got me, was it in 2018? Maybe before?
Might even have been 15.
Yeah, so he bought me this...
DC Collectibles statue.
Yeah, which one were we going to talk about first? The black and white one?
I thought you were going to talk about the Harley's Holiday.
Well, I was going to talk about Harley's Holiday, but you got me the black and white one first.
Yeah.
And then the Harley's Holiday. Mm-hmm. Both of which, I think it's the first version of the black and white Harley, both of which are just incredibly detailed and just every aspect of that, of both of them, but especially the Harley's Holiday, you can look at it from any angle and tell that a lot of hard work went into that. To the, like, even when you look at the little leash, the leashes that are on there, they're holding Bud and Lou, they're like, you move them about and you put them how you want them and stuff like that. And it's not just some hard piece of plastic. It's like, I think that one's like a rubbery or like a silicone type thing.
Just to clarify, it depicts Harley as she looks in the title card for Harley's Holiday. So
I didn't say that.
with the suit and the big hat.
Yeah, it's
it's a dress, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not a suit, but you knew what I meant.
So Harley Quinn has always been and will always be my favorite lady character from the DCAU, because I feel like we can all relate to being Harley in some form or fashion. But when I saw those, because when Luke ordered them, I was like, oh, I was excited to get it and everything like that. But when I actually looked at it, I was like, holy moly, this is really lovely. I can't remember how much they were.
About £300.
But the Harley
the big
one,
Harley's Holiday one was about
it's huge
$300.
though. Like, here's the thing: when we say that, you have to remember we live in the UK, so you have to add, to that, shipping fees and it actually just being here. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive, or a lot more expensive than it is in the US or Canada.
Yeah, because our prices include tax as well. So.
Yeah, but this statue of that depicts the title card of Harley's Holiday, it's huge.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, it is like the most detailed statue that I've seen of Harley Quinn. And it's just and it's so bad. I'm not the type of person that likes to keep things, like I will show things like if I have it, but I'm not a big knick-knack person. But I have not let that come out of the box.
Yeah, we displayed it briefly, and then you're like, no, this needs to go back in the box.
Because I was like, no. And the black and white statue, that's just, again, I have the first version. I can't remember the difference between the first one and the second one.
The second one has got more of a blue tone to it rather than grey.
Is it bad that I want that one as well? But I'm completely happy and satisfied with just having not just having, but having the first version. I'm blabbing.
Yeah, well, I was going to suggest that perhaps we talk about, to kind of wrap this up a bit because we've been going for nearly 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. Let's pick one favourite from any of the figure lines. Mm-hmm. Do you want to think about it for a minute while I suggest one?
I know which one I want.
All right, you can go first.
The Harley with the heads.
Oh, the expression pack Harley from DC Collectibles.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. So that came out before the Todd McFarlane buyout. And even with that, I don't see any differences in the quality, but that I just really like it because, again, it's very reminiscent of the old 90s toys, where some of the toys, not necessarily the Batman toys, but you could just, instead of having, to pretend with their facial expressions, you could just pop it off and then pop something else on, and I love that.
And you could recreate moments from the show. They even had, I think it had the fish head from The Laughing Fish, where the Joker makes her put on the fish costume.
How many heads did it come with? 8?
Maybe not 8, but it did come with a lot of heads and hands.
I can't remember. I don't know why I'm thinking 8, but were there different hands in there as well? Yeah. That's probably why I'm thinking of 8, because I'm counting. There's 2 sets of hands. There's the fish head. There's the just Harley head. And
there's
then
an unmasked head, a shocked expression, a smiling expression. Yeah, loads.
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
loads.
Amazing. So that's my favorite. What's yours?
I'm going to go with the original combat belt Batman from the Kenner line.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because it had obviously the combat belt itself was just like a plastic belt on a bit of elasticated material.
Yeah.
I was going to say wire, but it's not really wire.
Yeah.
Anyway, you stretch it out, and then Batman could like be pulled into it, like he was gliding along. And he had a massive like hook gun as well.
The grapple.
Yeah, but it was a big yellow thing.
Oh yeah.
A bit over the top, but it was still kind of, sort of, loosely, roughly authentic to the show. And I think that's a great figure. And I'm
Do
very
you still
pleased.
have it?
Yeah, I still have it. I still have it in its box as well. I bought that. God, when would that have been? Like 1999, maybe 2000. Found a whole bunch of BTAS action figures on a market stall in Llandudno in Wales.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
And,
where is that?
Yeah, I spent all of my saved up money for the holiday on those figures. I bought like 6 of them. They were only selling them for a few pounds each, so I was like, yeah, I'll take all of these. He had a bunch there that I couldn't afford to get, like the original Robin, and I don't think I got Clayface. I don't think I did here. I was like, I'll leave that one behind. I'll take the Mr. Freeze.
You were like 14?
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was good. I wish I had more money and gone back and bought them all, because I bought a bunch of them, and the next day I went back to the market stall to get some more. And the guy was like, wow, you really like Batman, don't you? I was like, just this one. Just this Batman. I like this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
That was a great topic, by the way.
Thank you.
All right. Should we get to the comments now?
No. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
I just want to say a big thank you to the guys that comment like on most of our episodes, because I really do enjoy like hearing from you guys. And yeah, I see you guys as my friends, or at least that's what I tell my therapist.
Let's get on to the comments then. So first one is a new commenter, or at least it's a name I don't recognize. So let's go with Pop JP Corp, who says hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Pop.
Hi.
What's up?
Next comment. Another new person, at least if you have commented before, I've forgotten, I apologise. Mr. Nobody _000 says, I love Eric Roberts. A way better actor than Julia.
What are you talking about?
We like Eric Roberts too.
Yeah. What? I know we make jokes about Eric Roberts sometimes, but I don't know what you're... I don't know why you said that.
Well, everyone's got an opinion. We all have different tastes. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
But yes, Eric Roberts is better than Julia Roberts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In my opinion.
Let's get to the next comment. Frozen Jack 2007.
Hey, Jack.
Me turning up for the comments. Well, glad you're here.
Yes, we are very happy you're here.
Next, another new person, I think. Jared Palmer 5501. I guess he really dress for the occasion.
Well, yeah, because... You know, Batman had to change outfits because he was going through a near apocalypse.
If the occasion is beating up Ra's al Ghul, then, you've got to dress smartly, right?
Yeah. I mean, Catwoman's was great too. When, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Next comment. Basement of Mars 1963. Well, this is a direction I didn't expect the channel going. I mean, an entire podcast dedicated to world famous and respected thespian Eric Roberts. That is actually a good idea. Someone should do that.
What is he talking about?
I would have never seen it coming, but I'll continue watching to see where it goes after 500 episodes, which I'm presuming is the number you're shooting for. Who knows? It may prove to be a truly genius move on your guys' part. I mean, that does sound like an excellent idea. 500 episodes dedicated to Eric Roberts.
Do I know enough about Eric Roberts to do a podcast about him?
Well, we'd have to watch all of his appearances.
I mean, the only things I know about are the music videos and the SVU.
Okay, next comment. The Phantasm, hello, says...
Hey, Phantasm!
For the first minute after I saw the title of the video, I started scratching my head and thinking I missed something. And then I remembered what day it was.
I don't get it.
It was Sunday.
March 31st.
Actually, we did have to delay the episode, didn't we?
We had to delay it because we had the special guest, as you guys heard. And they couldn't do a certain day, so we ended up having to delay it by one day. I hope you guys didn't mind that.
So next comment, SR Striker says,
Striker.
It's hard to believe that he voiced Mongol, and he was in The Dark Knight. As of now, he does a lot of low-budget movies, and remember about the Killing Joke movie versus the comic, as I wonder the same for what happened to the man who had everything. There's a lot of people, I assume, mentioning Eric Roberts, but I'm not really following why.
Yeah, I know we mentioned him a couple of times.
Well, you know.
He is great. He's amazing. I mean, nobody's even talking about what I said about Solomon Grundy.
No. I mean, I thought that would be quite controversial, but...
Or the special guest.
They're not even acknowledging it. But all right, fine. I guess we've learned our lesson. No more special guests. It's fine. Moving on to Michael Andre Parlon.
Mikey P!
Big Mikey P, yes. I'm sorry, but I don't know any kind of Eric Roberts that much. Okay? Regardless, for the support of the channel and like a moth through a light, I'm going to watch all this. Runaway Train, the movie with some involvement with Akira Kurosawa. I don't think Akira Kurosawa was involved in Eric Roberts' movie Runaway Train, was he? I don't think so.
I don't remember. Runaway Train, never coming back.
Okay, now I know more about Julia. By the way, the Ocean's 11 remake is greater than Pretty Woman and equals the original Ocean's 11. I think I've read that right. I might have misread it. I don't know. Ocean's 8 is deemed non-canon by a sizable number of people. Same with 13 and especially 12. What, they just decide it's not canon because they don't enjoy them?
Well, I do. Mikey P. And you know what? We should have a watch party. Since we're talking about, like, the Roberts clan, let's have a... Actually, that's a great idea.
What was the last season of Law & Order SVU that I fully watched? I seem to forget after so many years. Working and watching, reading, playing, lots of animation, anime, novels, comics, and video games.
There are I think they're on season 25 now, and I'm rewatching them. And I tell you what, Mikey P, I am... How you are with Law & Order is how I am with a lot of shows that came out around that time. I just ended up only watching a few seasons because in my mind, some TV shows is once you've seen 5 seasons of it, it's just going to repeat and regurgitate. But I feel with SVU, I'm rewatching season 5 at the moment. And I have to tell you, it's a completely different show than it was before. I mean, the storyline is the same, but it feels as if it's a different type of TV show. And I also feel that way from season 11 to about season 20, where that's also a different TV show with the same storyline. But yeah, it's awesome. If you continue watching it, if you have like Peacock or something like that, like at least just watch from about season 5 to season 11, because I think that is some of the best Law and Order. And I'm done.
Stay tuned for the next episode where we start a Law and Order SVU podcast. Camp, the concept, not the work you're both referring, can either impress or at most trigger me. Just saying. Was expecting Camp, the work, to be a queer romance, not another 5 centimeters per second. I no idea. The reference is lost on me, I'm afraid.
Are you sure that they're gonna get this joke? Because it just sounds like we're being mean to them.
Yes.
Okay. I love camp things. And that's all.
Dude, how do you not know The Dark Knight is a sequel to Batman Begins? You in a cryostasis pod since the hippie days. Bondage, what in what league? I don't know. Is Miss Atomic Bomb rotoscope 2D, may I add? I don't actually know how they did Miss Atomic Bomb. I thought it was hand-drawn, but I don't know, maybe it was rotoscoped.
I think, if... I could be wrong, but I think it's mixed. As is a lot of stuff that they do, because they love, I think we're talking about the Killers for some reason. Mm-hmm. They love making like mini films for their music videos, and the way that the directors that work with them work. I think they use just mixed media, which is awesome.
Continuing the comment, sorry, not that into Doctor Who, despite reading Neil Gaiman stuff about it and hearing about references of it in places like the Lego games. It's as alien to me as the Japanese live-action Sukeban stuff. So, an average high-octane scene of the animated film Redline, the animated stuff there is screenshot-worthy. Man, those Eric Roberts works are obsessed with board games and not getting the happy-go-lucky girl. Serious note, the idea of music videos being secret sequels brings into mind some of the Panic at the Disco.
Oh, I love Panic at the Disco.
I knew as soon as I was saying that, and I go, Mary's going to comment on that.
I still don't know why we're talking about the Killers music videos, but I love the Killers, but I also love Panic at the Disco. I wasn't a big fan of, like, you know, the emo scene rock. Not that it's bad or anything, it just wasn't my cup of tea. But when Panic at the Disco came out, I just felt things in my brain, and they started to tingle, and I really like it. And their breakup hurt.
Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne can probably relate, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Can agree that Law & Order SVU is another example of a more popular spin-off alongside Beast Wars Transformers, though that's also a sequel and a prequel, the Shin Megami Tensei Persona titles, the World War Z novel, the Portal duology, debatable since Half-Life is still a great and popular, at least until I heard Mary later, Frasier, debatable, the Nier duology, and Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoa from the original two A's. IMDb isn't perfect. Seriously, look at their criminal scores for films like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but it beats Rotten Tomatoes at best. Thank goodness the comments reading is still around. At least some of the comments are given non-joking context. that doesn't sound like us at all.
No, we would never make jokes of anything, Mikey P. Never.
I don't think I ever loved Patty Jenkins' Babel. Didn't hate it, though. It's just not a film of my preferences. I think I've heard of that Vendetta miniseries, though. I haven't caught up with Suits, and I have no plans on doing otherwise either. Oh, no. Why mine long-form comment? Licorice. Licorice is the pronunciation. I don't know. I'm sorry. I often don't pronounce words correctly.
I love your long-form comments. All joking aside, Mikey P, I love your comments. They actually are part of the thing I get excited about the comments for. So continue. And when we are serious again...
We're deadly serious at all times. And can I just add that after reading these comments, I need honey and lemon because my voice is dried up. Think of my poor voice.
No, we love you, Mikey P. And I'm not joking. Your comments, no matter how long they are, I love them. And you can write as long as you want.
Just think of my poor voice.
I will start reading them off then.
Don't worry, Mary. Voice impersonations and changing is a unique skill, if not art. Darn, guess my edit of putting Oja Manjo Doremi in that comment didn't make it. Magi for Magi, I think, and Madoka for Madoka, respectively. I really wish I knew what he was talking about. Explaining...
Watch me Google this later. And by the next episode, I'll be completely obsessed with what he's talking about. Because a lot of the things that he has spoken about in the past, I will go and I'll Google and I'll be like, oh my God, I am obsessed now.
Explaining my comment from 2 podcasts ago, as of this writing, somehow didn't arrive for the last podcast. By the time I restored it, it was too late.
Oh, it's never too late.
I agree, it's a triumph. Also, please stop dead memeing.
What's that mean?
Like bringing up dead memes, like old memes, like, you know, the cake was a lie. I think that's what he's referring to.
I will never give up that cake meme. Ever.
Surprised you didn't lampshade the fact that Joker 2019 felt too similar to the King of Comedy for this April Fool's video. What April Fool's video? You won't get cancelled if one doesn't like the Halloween movies. In my opinion, though, the very first movie and its first and somewhat rough sequel are arguably the better ones. All while the newer reboot sequel trilogy may be overhyped to me. Yeah, well, you can say that, but John Carpenter's not at your window tapping the theme tune whenever you say that. So, you know.
The new Halloween movies, I don't think I've seen them. Do I want to? If it's the last thing I have on TV, I will, but I think I agree with you.
Are the lotto numbers 0451411? I'm just guessing with Looking Glass Studio and Naoki Urasawa's monster numbers logic. I think we should let Mary hear about Irish clannards and avoid K-pop and J-pop. Can't bear breaking the lassie. So back to seriousness. Don't have Facebook for good reasons, sorry. Plus we're going to see a totally Aaron Eckhart for April 1st, 2025. Well, I don't know why you're bringing up Aaron Eckhart.
So the Facebook thing, if you guys don't want to do the Facebook thing, you can always go to my channel and subscribe.
Yeah, they know by now.
I'm just kidding. No, the Facebook thing was just there, or is just there if you want it to be. If you don't, that's fine. I'm not going to take offense to it.
Nope.
Because you're here.
So, moving on to the next comment, we have play content. Hello, Connor. If an apple a day really kept the Doctor away, Eric Roberts would never have encountered the Doctor in Doctor Who. This is true.
Okay. Guys, even Connor's out talking about it. What the hell is going on? About what? We didn't do a podcast about Eric Roberts.
He continues. I'd put Eric Roberts or his animated likeness into the video for Alan Parsons' project Don't Answer Me because Miss Atomic Bomb vaguely reminds me of it anyway. By that I mean it's animated and there are no other similarities. I remember teletext almost too well. I bet when CFAX was invented everyone thought TV technology peaked. I know I did, and I wasn't even that new when I first discovered it. So that's probably a reference wasted on you, Mary. But you know what? I've told you what teletext is, haven't I?
Teletext is captions.
No. It was like... It was kind of like the internet before the internet was a thing. Like
I know what that is. Like the Sega channel used to be.
I don't think so, but maybe. But you would press a button and it would bring up like the weather and news, and it was all just like very simple text, and you could scroll through it and, you know, look at like the TV listings.
Oh, we had something similar to that when we got what was it, Cox Cable in Oklahoma, but it was not nice. It was not great. So I think I used it once when I was bored.
Okay.
And then VOD came into the picture, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Captain Alces has returned once again.
Hey, Cap.
Says, I used to enjoy every episode of Totally Eric Roberts' podcast. Listen. It's really poor form to come into the comment section of one podcast and start promoting some other podcast. It's very poor form. If I find that after this episode our viewership drops off, I'm going to know where everyone's gone.
To the Totally Eric... What did he call it?
Totally Eric Roberts podcast.
That is a good name, though.
Well,
Does he...
I wonder what that podcast's about.
Oh my god, they should get Eric Roberts on. Should we try to get a guest spot on the Totally Eric Roberts podcast?
No, they've become our rivals.
I've not heard
now.
of it before.
Whoever makes that podcast, I hate them. But there's no need to blame us for you not knowing the hot goss on Eric and his perfectly talented but not as talented as Eric's sister Julia Roberts, or their upcoming film Into the Robertsverse. Yeah, I probably would watch that movie, actually.
I would probably watch it too. All joking aside, I still absolutely adore Eric Roberts.
Good. Next comment. Kyra Universal. Hello, I think you're a new person. I apologise if I say that every time you comment.
He is an old man.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there, actually. Yeah, I'm starting to. I feel like my brain's becoming more like a sieve every day. But anyway, Kyra's comment is, he is the master. He is the Eric Roberts. Yes, I like the TV movie of Doctor Who. I quite liked it as well when I was a kid. It has its flaws, but I think it's enjoyable.
And name them.
Next comment.
Okay.
Lowell Lucas Jr., hello.
Hello.
As for Eric Roberts in another music video, here's 3. Thriller, Take On Me, and Careless Whisper by George Michael. Was he really in Careless Whisper?
Was he a Thriller?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know anything about Eric Roberts, so maybe we should listen to the Totally Eric Roberts podcast to learn more.
If you guys could link us to that, just...
They might do that. Screen Wiper says, I don't have a trailer, I have a house. I feel like that's a sad reference to something. And don't be down on yourself, Screen Wiper.
Oh, is it something about Miss Atomic Bomb?
Possibly.
Atomic. Oh, nope. Nope. No, what I don't even know what's going on right now.
David Carney is the next comment.
Hola.
Honestly, I thought, is this some sort of mistake at first? That wasn't until I remembered what day it was. I thought Eric Roberts was good in The Dark Knight. Why is everyone talking about a specific day? Captain House has left another comment. Oh, I'm breaking the rules here by reading this out, but I've started, so I'm going to finish. For now, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and to find out the near apocalypse of 09 was almost caused by Julia Roberts and Aaron Eckhart. Crazy. Is this an Erin Brockovich joke? Yes.
What did you think of our special guest?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Spooky.
Yeah.
It's very frightening.
We're not going to invite them back on.
No, we're not doing that again.
That was especially after what they said.
David BTAS has returned and says, hello, Eric Roberts rocks. What better way to follow up a totally Eric Roberts podcast with a totally Lemmy Killmeister, a Motorhead podcast.
Yeah.
Listen. I just told Captain Al, don't promote other podcasts in our comments. Now you've come in. I know you're a member and you're a long-time channel supporter, but come on, promoting two separate podcasts.
If you like to gamble,
I know.
tell you from your mind.
He's gambling right here.
I would listen to that. So if you want to make that podcast, you have your first subscriber here.
On April 1st, 2025, where Mary and Luke list their top 5 favourite Motorhead songs. I like in the Year of the Wolf. Well, yeah, everyone likes the Ace of Spades. But I like In the Year of the Wolf. I like the wrestling song he did, not the game, the one for Evolution, Line in the Sand. I like that one as well. He did another song called Love Me Forever, I think. I don't know if that was a cover, but that was a good one.
I don't know.
He did a cover of God Save the Queen as well, which was very good. Oh my god, I've nearly spoiled it. I've done 4 out of the 5.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know a lot of Motorhead songs other than Ace of Spades.
Yeah, I don't know a huge number, but
I do like, when I do hear them and it comes up on my Spotify, because it does, because I listen to a lot of music from that time, I do not skip it.
A totally Eric Roberts turned heads, neck braces were required. A totally Lemmy Killmeister.
Is he okay?
No. Would have people falling off their seats or scratching their heads. Either way, it would be a fun listen. Sloof Lirpa. I didn't realise that David was a magician. Andy Drew. Hello, Andy. Said, well, this was an April Fool's joke nobody saw coming. Hilarious. It's not a nice thing to say about our special guest.
Yeah. But
he tried very hard. He can't help it that he's a spectre.
But he was a bit of a creep.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably shouldn't say that.
No. He might listen to this, and I hope we haven't offended him.
I do hope we
No,
have.
Mary, don't say that. Don't say that.
I do hope we have.
Jose Morales, hello Jose, returns and says, the Pope of Greenwich Village, when you know, you know. Charlie! I've never seen the Pope of Greenwich Village, so I've probably butchered the quote there. But...
I've only seen... I might have seen the whole thing, but I remember the scene you're talking about, and I remember the trailer for it. But I don't remember the entire movie.
Final comment comes from RDP16 Rules.
Hey, yo.
Just joined Facebook to see that follow-up podcast, and I can't find the group. This, among other reasons, is why I was a MySpace guy. Maybe I'm not looking at it the right way.
I loved MySpace.
Well, we saw your comment and decided that we would put the follow-up on Mary's YouTube.
The serious follow-up.
It's the follow-up. It's the follow-up on Mary's YouTube, so that people that don't like Facebook or just don't really have any interest in joining a group like that can listen to it. And, you know, a good number of you have. I think it's had, when I last checked, it had over 100 people listen to it, which was very nice, considering it was just a little follow-up thing. So thanks, everyone that listened to that. And hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
We've come to the end of the comments, so I suppose it's time to move on to talk about what we're going to cover next time.
So next week, we're going to talk about our favorite villains of the DCAU.
So not just Batman, not just Superman, but Justice League, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, and the Zeta Project.
Yeah.
Okay. All of those shows. So little spoiler for next time, we're probably not going to mention characters from Static Shock or the Zeta Project very much because Mary hasn't seen those shows.
Answer me this. Commenters, viewers, if you're still here, should I watch those?
Answers on the back of a postcard. No, please put it in the YouTube comments.
Yes. All right, guys. I love you guys very much, and we will speak to you in 2 weeks' time, and we'll actually read the comments with all seriousness next time. Love you, bye.